I literally forgot my Kung Fu kick. Like, what the hell? That's the whole point of this, is I'm learning to Kung Fu kick. And I didn't do my Kung Fu kick. So, and it's my favorite part of the workout. That's why I save it to the end. It's like, this is my reward for working hard in the rest of the workout. So I've got to try and savor it, and make sure, yeah, we're set up good. So yeah, my Kung Fu kick, like, I was watching, there's lots of different Kung Fu kicks, right? There's lots of different types of Kung Fu kick. I didn't realize how many there were. So, but I figure if I'm going to learn to Kung Fu kick, I want to just like start with the one type of Kung Fu kick, because how else am I going to measure it accurately? I want to measure my progress. So I'm only going to allow myself to do one type of Kung Fu kick each day. So, my measuring tape's going to be, oh no, my measuring tape's fine. Okay, yeah, cool. So, yeah, I've been thinking about my Kung Fu kick. Like, if I'm going to have a Kung Fu kick, it's going to have to come from like a fighting stance, right? So, because, you know, if you think about like Bruce Lee, they weren't just casual and then kick. They were in a fighting stance. So I'm going to need to figure out what my fighting stance is, what it's going to be. You know, what is it that I'm going to practice each day? And I think it's going to have to be my shield's going to have to be up, right? So if I'm getting into a fight, I'm putting my shields up, right? So I'm fully protected, man. My head is not getting punched, but I'm ready to strike with this fist. So if I needed to, you know, I could lunge forward and strike, but so shields up, right? And I'm like, so I'm going to be ready to strike, but then I'm going to transfer my weight to my front. I'm going to skip forward, I guess, and then raise this, right? So I'm going to be in this fighting posture, I think. It'll probably look ridiculous, but you know, I got to start somewhere, right? So shields up, and you're flexible, ready, you know, moving. So if I need to, I can move backwards. If I need to, I can move forwards. But I'm then going to move my foot in, transfer weight, and Kung Fu kick, and that's what I'm going to practice, I think. Prior to doing so, I need to set the camera height, because it's very high right now, okay? And I need to set it to whatever's on my piece of red tape. So I'm going to set that up, and I'll be right back, and this will be day 3 Kung Fu kick. Actually, it occurred to me I might as well record this part too. So I'm just trying to sort of see how far up I can get my leg into a position with square breathing, to see kind of where my flexibility's at for today. Yesterday I kind of dropped by, I think, a couple of centimeters, because you know, there was a bit of fatigue in the muscles, I guess. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of see where I can get to with that, and then I'm going to use that to set the height of the camera. So yeah, I thought I might as well record it. I'm just moving a mirror so I can observe my posture. I want to make sure that I've got good posture while I'm doing this. Quite difficult. Okay, let me just, I believe that was just about, it was just under the red. Just want to see if I can control my breath with that. No, I think that's like, okay, I think there's too much fatigue going on now. I need to have a little think about that. I don't feel like I should be losing performance each day, and I would say I lost performance there on yesterday, which would suggest that somehow I may be overworking the muscle group. I need to have a little think about it. And it could be, you know, just the measuring. I might have to just have a stricter measuring regime so that I'm not trying to lift my leg up more than once, because that would kind of make sense. And I think I need to make that as an adjustment to what I'm doing, because, you know, the rule is max 1 rep, right? So if I'm, you know, if I'm measuring, when I'm doing my measurement, if that's beyond my ability to square breathe, then I'm pushing it too hard, right? So yeah, I need to take note of that, and it needs to be a single action to get my measurement, which I will then set the camera by. Okay, fair enough. Okay, live and learn. Okay, I thought this might be worth recording as well, because interestingly, it's if I don't do the 4-second breath when I'm doing my measurement, if I just raise my leg with some momentum, flexibility wise, I would say I'm above the line. Well, quite significantly above the line, actually. I'd say I'm up about here. That's interesting. So that's a measurement that I can make each day without that didn't fatigue my muscles to do that. So because it was using momentum, not strength. So I feel like that's a safer way to measure, and what I'll do is I'll offset the camera below that, because I know it looked like to me to be about a 10 centimeter difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 centimeters. So it's a 10 centimeter difference. So if I offset the camera 10, so let's say it was 10 centimeters. I'm not maintaining this at the moment. This is out of reach at the moment. So I'm going to drop that down by a couple of centimeters, but I'll put the camera at this height here with the aim of kicking slightly above it. So that I think that makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try for a few days and see what happens. See if I start feeling that my legs aren't becoming too fatigued. So yeah, cool. Okay, camera set up at 84 centimeters, and day 3, Kung Fu kick. I think I already did that. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Oh, shields up, shields up. Ow, ow, ow. Here we go. Day 3, Kung Fu kick. Ow, ow. Day 3 Kung Fu kick done. I'm learning to do this shit. It's happening.